Hello and welcome again to a new episode of Spice and Easy Kitchen. I hope you are doing well and having a wonderful year. Wishing you health, happiness, prosperity, and peace of mind. Here I have 650 grams of all-purpose flour to prepare one bread. I also have 100 milliliters of vegetable oil, which is half a cup. I have 1 full cup of milk and another full cup of warm water. All liquids are warm for kneading, and I have 10 grams of sugar. That is 1 tablespoon and also 1 teaspoon of salt. Salt can be adjusted depending on taste, and I have 1 tablespoon of yeast. Now I will start the method by taking a mixing bowl. I will prepare the dough in this bowl. I add the yeast and the sugar. Then I add the milk and the water. I mix until the yeast fully dissolves. Then I add half a cup of oil after the yeast dissolves. I mix again until everything is well combined. I combine the oil with the rest of the ingredients. Then I start adding the flour and then the salt. Add a small spoon of salt and start mixing. Mix until the dough comes together before kneading by hand. I add more flour gradually. And continue mixing the dough. I remove the spatula and continue working the dough by hand. If it sticks, add a little flour until you get the right texture. The dough should be soft and slightly firm at the same time. This is the texture we are aiming for. The dough is ready and I grease the bowl with oil. I shape the dough and cover it to let it rise. Let it double in size before continuing. I take a pan and add 1 tablespoon of butter. I sliced onions into thin strips. I add salt and let the onions cook in butter. I stir until the onions soften. Once golden, I add half a teaspoon of cumin. I also add half a teaspoon of chili, adjust to taste. Then 1 teaspoon of paprika and half a teaspoon of black pepper. I mix everything together. Cook for 1 to 2 minutes, then turn off the heat. The filling is ready and I leave it to cool. Now I go back to the dough. The dough has risen and I remove the air from it. I divide it into 2 equal parts. I cover them and let them rest for 5 minutes. The dough is rested and ready to shape. I flatten the first piece. I roll it out using a rolling pin. I flip it and place the smooth side underneath. Then I transfer it to a baking tray. Ready for the oven. I roll the second piece. I do not flip it and keep the top side as it is. I make it slightly larger than the first piece. Now I add 100 grams of cheese on top. I spread it evenly over the dough. Then I add the cooked onions. I spread them evenly. I add a little extra cheese on top. Just a small amount. I lift the second dough and place it over the filling. It should be slightly larger than the base. I stretch and seal the edges carefully. Like folding traditional pastry, then I press the dough gently by hand. I cover it again and let it rise for 30 minutes. Now I prepare a simple decoration. I create small holes using a spoon. In this pattern, until I finish the entire surface. Then I repeat in the opposite direction. I mix 1 egg yolk with 1 tablespoon of milk. The oven is preheated to 190 degrees. I brush the bread with the mixture. Then I add some sesame seeds. I bake it in the oven at 190 degrees for about 30 minutes, depending on the oven. Until it is fully baked and golden. The bread is ready after 35 minutes. I place it on a serving plate and cut it. As you can see, it is well filled inside. The cheese is melted and very delicious. It tastes amazing even with just onions. Try this simple and affordable recipe. And stay tuned for more recipes.